So I often do things that are probably interesting and forget to make a video about it, so I'm going to try to do one for this little project. I got this board for 25 bucks. It's pretty old. Turns out I was going to use it for just like non-electric stuff, but the trucks are really bent. The rubber on these tires is super hard and the deck's pretty worn out. And it won't roll at all because of how bent the trucks are. So I was just going to use the wheels, but it turns out that it's using this old wheel size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify these wheels and try to repair the tires. So you can see inside these wheels there's this sort of pin and hole set pattern, locking pattern, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but they actually fit together perfectly. Here is an old wheel and a new wheel, and they work just fine. So the only thing I need to change is the bearing hole size. This inside hole is actually smaller as well, but this was the spacer for my bigger axle and it fits just fine, so I don't need to worry about that hole. Just need to get this hole made bigger. So here's a fully disassembled wheel. You can see it's the same as that other wheel, so I just need to get them, all four of them, ready to go. So there is 4 disassembled wheels and a sample wheel to hand off to my buddy so he can see what size the bearing needs to be.
Alright Mitch, so the first step is to grab onto the wheel, and the only place to really grab it is up on the rim because this is all taper. So there's no other way to really hold on to it well. And then you have to dial into that bore. So you have to push the chuck all around until you get it running really true. So those are thousandths of an inch. So, you know, that's the variation in that bore. Then you bore you have to touch off on the bore or on the face first, and then set a 0, and then rough it out. So I'm going to rough 70th out first. This is all by hand. So we're going to a depth of about 309 thousandths. Then you back out, clear your chips, dial out to about 140, do the same thing again. Black out. I'm going to take my last roughing pass at 210. That's how much I've taken out of the bore, is 210 thou. And then right there is where I measure. So you have to set up a bore gauge so that you can measure, because this has to be within a 0.5 thousandths on size, or the bearing will be sloppy or it won't go in. So this says I need to take 20.5 thou. Dial to 230.5. Trying to do all this one-handed too is not really easy. And then I walk across the face to clean the face up. Should be it. So that's got to be done 8 times and perfectly so that your bearing is a nice fit. So here's the first one I did. It's tight, but you can easily push it in and out.
So here are all the hubs returned to me, nice and machined out, and they fit the bigger bearing size. Now I just need to fix up the tires. So I've been washing the wheels using an old toothbrush and soap water, and not super happy with the results, but you can see the two on the left are a little bit cleaner. So I ended up putting the black rims on my mountain board setup. You can see here they are on the Matrix 2 trucks using the bigger bearings. I got my motor mounts attached as well. And here are the tires. I put them on my old white rims just for storage, and I printed up a fresh set of gears on them, but I don't actually have any plans to use it. I just printed it for fun. I was gonna soak these tires in wintergreen oil and isopropyl, which would supposedly restore the softness to them, but I decided it just wasn't worth the cost. So they're pretty hard and not flexible, but I'll probably ride them eventually when my other tires wear out, and we'll just have to see what happens. But these tires have pretty decent amount of wear on them already, and so spending like $20 or more just to restore the tires when I could get a new set of tires for maybe $40 just didn't seem worth the money. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of this adventure, I guess. Hopefully I'll build another board to put these on at some point.